Crecí en una familia nada más con mi mamá y mis hermanas. A mi parecer, crecí en una muy buena familia y en un muy buen ambiente. La violencia y que tomé una mala decisión cuando escogí a mi pareja y todo se complicó.
Mariana Ibarra was 21 years old when she left Mexico for the U.S. with her mother, her sister, and her then 6-month-old son, seeking refuge from a complicated threat.
Pues yo creo que la violencia siempre estuvo en Juárez igual, pero nunca estuve involucrada o nunca me vi afectada. Hasta que comencé a andar con esta persona y él lo metieron a la cárcel. Entonces empezó a involucrar con el narcotráfico y cuando ya me quise alejar de eso, ahora él ya me amenazaba para que yo estuviera con él.
In 2016, Ibarra testified to the Department of Homeland Security that her son's father, known as Lalo, was involved with the Sinaloa Cartel, an international drug trafficking organization. He's currently serving a 120-year sentence for kidnapping. Ibarra visited Lalo in prison, and during some of those visits, he physically assaulted her. On one occasion, he forced her to stay in his cell for days. This is Ibarra speaking to the press in 2016 after she was released from his cell.
Tenemos un niño de 6 meses y me amenaza que me va a matar, que va a matar a mi familia, que él tiene mucho poder allá adentro. Pero todo comenzó desde el 6 de febrero, donde él me tuvo detenida 3 días dentro de la cárcel de Juárez. Entonces, cuando a mí me soltaron, yo denuncié toda la corrupción que había entre la policía y el narcotráfico. Y la policía, en vez de ayudarme, me detuvieron para quitarme todos los mensajes y las fotografías, todas las pruebas que yo tenía.
According to court documents, Mariana said she feared for her life because she had an abusive boyfriend and she was intimidated by the police. So she made her way to the U.S. on this bridge, the Bridge of the Americas, to apply for asylum. She's one of thousands of people who apply for asylum in the U.S. every year, many of them coming from Mexico. Asylum outcomes can vary because of a number of factors, like whether someone is a convicted criminal when they apply or whether they have a lawyer. But looking at numbers alone, Ibarra had a few factors working against her when she arrived. The U.S. denies Mexican asylum claims more than any other nationality, and her case would be reviewed in a city with one of the highest asylum denial rates in the country, El Paso, Texas.
I have more Mexican asylum cases than most of the nonprofits in the state of Texas put together.
Carlos Spector, an immigration attorney in El Paso, took on Ibarra's case. He's made a name for himself trying and sometimes winning Mexican asylum cases against tough odds.
It's demoralizing, and that's why most people don't take them. Why take them if we're going to get denied anyway?
Spector helped Ibarra fight for asylum in 2016 under the Obama administration, but she did so while in detention for 8 months. Her sister, who is a legal resident, cared for her son while she was away.
Pues en los 8 meses lo más difícil fue que no estaba con mi hijo.
Although Ibarra knew where her child was, her situation was similar to others publicized since the implementation of the Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy. She's a parent who fled her country for protection and was separated from her child for an indefinite period of time while waiting to learn her fate.
Un castigo que ellos no se merecen. Y aquí nos están castigando, no solo están castigando a los padres, sino a los niños que son inocentes.
According to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, most asylum applications should receive a decision within 180 days or about 6 months. After being detained for 8 months, Ibarra's asylum request was denied because most of her claims against Lalo, the prison guards, and the police couldn't be corroborated.
So there are very specific requirements for asylum.
Ileana Olguin is an immigration and nationality law attorney in El Paso. She explains that to be granted asylum, one needs to prove that you've been harmed or threatened of being harmed because of race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group.
A lot of times, your persecutor doesn't give you a handwritten note explaining the reasons he or she is persecuting, as you're fleeing your country. So that's a big obstacle for a lot of asylum seekers, is that lack of documentary evidence.
Ibarra didn't have enough evidence to be granted asylum, but because she was tortured in a Mexican prison cell, and because of the connection between those prison guards and the Sinaloa cartel, she's protected from being deported back to Mexico under the Convention Against Torture.
Se supone que puedo estar nada más en todo dentro de Estados Unidos, pero no puedo pisar ningún estado de México, nada. Ahí se quedaron las cosas de que estoy deportada y de que Se supone que ICE no puede mandarme a Juárez, pero si ellos quieren, reabren el caso para volver a hablar con el juez y darle algún argumento para que yo me tenga que regresar a México.
Despite that looming concern, the order meant she'd be reunited with her son. That happened in October 2016.
Fue un infierno estar allá adentro sin mi hijo y con los tratos que da ICE ahí adentro. Yo si me regresaran a cuando lo pedí, yo sí lo volvería a hacer. Y yo creo que si en verdad temen por sus vidas, si en verdad sienten que es necesario, yo sí lo volvería a hacer y sí volvería a luchar para tener el asilo. No es lo mismo que yo estuve detenida 8 meses a que hubiera estado ya muerta en Juárez.
Cántales. T de terrible. T-Rex. T de terrible. T-Rex.